Thank you for stopping by the Life of Sassy today. Today I am starting a new series on my channel where I finally try and get my house in order. Now my house is a disaster for many reasons, which I will share with you in an upcoming video. Unfortunately, I just ran out of time to get that recorded, but it will be coming soon. But right now my goal is to basically organize, deep clean, purge, go through my house from top to bottom, and finally have a functioning house. I know that might sound weird, but it's true. My house is a disaster and I am on a mission to get it organized. Now, once I purge and deep clean from top to bottom, then maybe we can start some DIYs and some redecorating. But let's go ahead and jump right in. We're starting in the basement today. I apologize for the bad lighting, but I don't have my light with me right now. But my basement has taken a beating in the last couple of months. And if you remember, the basement also flooded a couple of years ago. So it's just chaos. The best way I can explain it is chaos. But this all started a couple of months ago. I came home and I found something all around this drain. Now, originally I thought it was my freezer and I panicked. It wasn't. It took about another 2 weeks to realize that my old hot water tank was leaking. Now, it took that long because most of the time when we came down, there was either no water on the floor or all of the water would be around the drain, so we didn't know where it was coming from. Finally, after about 2 weeks, I came down, there was water on the floor, and I was able to track it back to the hot water tank. Now, this is our new hot water tank, but this room had to be emptied because on our old hot water tank, there was a pipe that came out of the bottom, and on that pipe, there should have been a drainage valve. The people who installed the old hot water tank did not put the drainage valve in. So going into this, we knew he was going to have to cut the pipe and let the hot water tank drain naturally. So to prepare for that, we took as much out of this room as we could. Now, when he originally came in, he said we didn't have to remove everything we did, but it's a good thing we did because when he started to unhook the old hot water tank, the pipe to the bottom actually fell out. So it started spewing water long before he was ready for it. But because of that, almost everything out of this room, except the stuff behind there, had to be moved into one of the other rooms. So there was a bunch of stuff here. We used to keep the exercise equipment leaned up here. There was some other stuff on the floor. That has all been moved as well. All of this had been removed, but is now back because on the August long weekend, we ended up with a wasp infestation. Apparently, they had built a nest in our walls and had figured out how to get into our house. So we had to move a lot of this so we could try and block off how they were getting into the house. As well, that blanket had been hung on the basement stairs leading to the main floor. We don't have a door there, so we hung this up to try and keep the wasps in the basement because at various times coming down here, you would find anything from no wasps up to one morning. I didn't count them, but I swear there were at least 100. So we had put that up to try and stop them from going upstairs, and luckily we only ever ended up with a handful of wasps, but now that needs to be washed. All of this needs to be sorted, so that is one project down here. Now, I'm not sure if I'm the only person who does this, but I've started slowly trying to sort through my clothing. Some of this will be trash because it's outlived its usefulness. Some of it will be donated and some of it will be kept. But before I donate clothes, I always wash them. So in the room that had the wasp infestation, all of these clothes were on the floor waiting to be washed. The other day I came down and did one load. Now when I'm washing clothes to be donated, I never use the dryer, so everything has to hang up. These are now dry. I need to sort them and get the next load in the washer. Now we have my pantry. In all fairness, this was a complete disaster before we got infested with wasps. There was probably about a month and a Costco trip worth of stuff down here that hadn't been put away. August was a very bad month for me. Even the day-to-day tasks were not getting done. So originally my plan had been the August long weekend was to clean this up. But I wasn't working down here with the wasp situation. For the most part, we were able to keep them in the other room. They only came in here when we turned the light on. So we started coming down here without turning the light on. But we did end up with a few in here. So this floor is covered in the spray that we were using to kill the wasps. It was a solution of water, dish soap, and vinegar. It has made my floor like an ice rink. It is so slippery. So I need to clean all of this up and scrub the floor down. There won't be a lot of wasps to clean up in here, but you will see there are a few, like there's one right there. But for the most part, I just need to get all of this out, clean the floor, and get everything put away. Plus, there's 2 more piles of clothes that got lifted up off the floor. And now this room. Anything you see like that are wasp corpses, because eventually when pest control did come, they sprayed something which killed the wasps, but a lot of them still got into my house and died in the house. But yeah, you'll see. All of this stuff here had been in the laundry room, as well as that. Some of this stuff had come down from upstairs, because we still have a ton of stuff that should live in our basement upstairs from when we flooded, because we were concerned we might flood again because it took them so long to actually seal the wall. And again, my plan for the August long weekend was to take care of all of this. I wanted to sort everything that came out of the laundry room and only put it back if it was something we wanted to keep. But due to the wasp infestation, none of this got done. There's another load of laundry. That's the next one I'll put in the washer. Now, I have already cleaned up the wasp corpses once. Keep that in mind. I had to clean them up because originally what we did, we're pretty sure they were coming in around the window, because when they re-drywalled this wall, they didn't put the trim back around the windows and there were huge gaps. So to try and stop the wasps, we created our own little tarp and covered the window. And at first it looked like that was working. The number of wasps went down. But I think they found another way in, because the trim is also missing here. Yes, those are all wasps. It's not pretty. But the trim is also missing along the base as well, where that piece of tape is. There's a hole in the wall that has the electrical cord for the rad. So, partway through the wasp infestation, we came down, we retaped the window, and we put this blanket at the bottom to try and stop them coming in. At that point, I cleaned up all of the wasp corpses. I probably cleaned up about 100 to 200 of them. There's now probably at least 100 more. They're all through here that I'm going to have to clean up. Then we need to move everything, because the majority of the spray was used in this room. They were always hanging out on this window. So this floor, you do not want to walk on right now. As well, once they put the spray out, because they were getting in here, they've all gone under these racks. So that also needs to be cleaned up. This is not going to take me a day. This may not even take me a week. But this is the first thing I'm going to tackle, is getting the basement organized. Okay, so I'm going to turn you around, because this part of the room was not affected by the wasps. But it needs to be cleaned up, because there is a ton of stuff living on my main floor that got moved up after the flood that needs to come back down here. So we need to be realistic. Will we use it? And if we won't, it's gotta go, because the stuff from the main floor needs to come back down. Like I said, this is gonna take me a while, but let's get this adventure started. As I said, this wasn't going to be a quick process. It wasn't going to be done in a couple hours, probably not even a couple of days. But in this case, it is now a few days later. I had to take everything off of the top of the freezer because I needed something out of the freezer. So that is all back on the floor, but the floor is now clean. As well, I have since done more shopping and added more bags. But now I'm going to bring everything back in and put it on my shelves. For the moment, we are going to consider this room done. I need to figure out the cereal because somehow that bin is very full, but we only eat like 3 kinds of cereal, and those are there. So I'm not sure how that bin is that full. As well, I need to deal with the potatoes. That can be done later. But the big thing you'll notice is I have all of the cleaning supplies here. The reason for that is they go in a pantry in my laundry room, but that pantry needs to be cleaned out. Not going to happen today, but I'm going to leave that stuff there for now. Then it won't be in my way, but everything is out of the bags. The floor has been cleaned. All of the bags are in my laundry room to go in. I'm going to wash them with the towel we were using to block off the doorway. As well, there's another towel in the blanket, not towel. There's another blanket in the other room I have to go get, which is completely creeping me out and I don't want to touch. But we're going to consider the pantry clean as well. Quick turn here. Yes, I have left all the tortillas here right now. Reason for that, I need to defrost this chest freezer, but I need to go and get my other cooler bag out of the car. I have one back here, but I have a second one in my car I'm going to go get. I need to empty out the chest freezer and defrost it because if you look, ignore those. They need to be put into a baggie. I've been flash freezing them. But as you can see, I have quite the ice buildup, so I need to defrost this, but I need to go grab the other cooler bag, and I'm not sure if that'll happen today. We'll see. But we're calling this room done. I'm going to call that a wrap on the basement part 1. There is so much more I'd hoped to get done, but I just didn't get it done this week because that is life. This project isn't going to take me days or weeks. It's honestly going to take me months to get this house organized, deep cleaned, and functional again. I thank you for stopping by and checking out my journey. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider clicking that subscribe button and checking out my next adventure as I clean this house. Now, I also realized I wasn't in the kitchen. My goal going forward is to have one house and one kitchen video each week. That is the goal. Fingers crossed it happens because, as we are all well aware, life happens. But thank you for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Have a wonderful day, everyone.